my first question is really, Metaverse kya hai? But it's not real.
Yeah, so that's a concept. It's really difficult to understand, but like.
But isn't the whole point of having a Metaverse is not to be in Karachi? Assalamu alaikum, welcome to another edition of Exploring with IUX, and today Hamara Mehman is Umair Ali Khatri, who is the head of user experience, not design experience, but user experience and design at 10 Pearl. He's also an entrepreneur and the residence at the Nest, and a UX and multidisciplinary design consultant for Karachi, Pakistan, who aims to bridge the gap between our user experience and digital product design. And I'll be talking a little bit about that in a while, but he's also somebody who's worked with Karachi Biennial, Brandsver, Transform X, and FinchMe.me.
Yeah.
So welcome to Exploring with IUX.
Thank you for the good introduction. I think you have placed a lot of words for me.
But your work really focuses on building sort of the practical with the beautiful and the design, yeah?
I think user experience matters a lot. Like it's.
What do we mean by that when we say user experience? Can you give me?
So, you as George, you have a persona of like your favorite things and needs are different, your wants are different, you have a persona, I have a different persona. So my user experience for something would be different, your experience would be different. So you need to map those personas, you need to map those journey for individual user to create a beautiful or a good user experience design.
But how can you make it individualized? Because surely everyone is different, so you can't have a user experience that is fit for everyone.
Yeah, so for that, you need to do the research part, right? You need to create surveys. You need to talk to a lot of users, and then there will be some overlapping answers. Like, okay, some people are statistics are same, some are different. So you need to create those user personas and create those flows and maps for them. So we
all fall into certain categories.
Yeah.
So you'll have, half a dozen different types of users.
Yes.
And then they are put into silos of how they interact with the product.
Yeah. So let me give you an example of, let's say Instagram ads.
Yeah.
You might be seeing something different as an ad. I might be seeing different based on my activities or based on my likings. Because my persona is different, they are targeting me with some different ads. Similarly for you, you might like Nike shoes or some branded clothes. So you'll get those ads because they have created your persona around those ads.
Right. Okay, so it's using our existing data to fine-tune that user experience.
Yeah.
So that's what when we give away our data, when we give away our cookies, when we give away, they are then making profiles of us, and we are falling into these sort of silos.
Yeah, that's how they structure individual of us.
One thing I forgot to mention in the introduction is Umair is also a keen proponent of the Metaverse, and we'll come on to that in a while. But I just wanted to first of all, and sorry, we jumped straight into the user experience thing. I wanted to first of all talk to you about the sort of entrepreneurship journey. You were left college in 2015, and you went and became an entrepreneur essentially. What prompted you to do that?
So I studied computer sciences, and then there wasn't any course for design, but my passion was to like work on as a designer. So I just jumped in as a entrepreneur. I just started as a freelancer and started some projects. I was incubated at the Nest.io. We were building a product, and like it was my passion, right? I got one project, I bought a laptop, get an intern, do that work. And then similarly, like I get a project, get some revenue, using that revenue, getting resource, and that's how I structured. And then I think it's about your you need to be humble, you need to be a little empathetic, like and then you need to be.
What do you mean? Why do you need to be humble and empathetic?
So
Because these are not sort of traits that I would say someone like Steve Jobs had. You know, he was neither humble nor empathetic, and he was a great entrepreneur. But so why do you need them?
I think I didn't get a project right initially, so I just tried. I was humble to myself, like it will happen. It will happen soon. You'll get a project. I got my first project. It was sukoon.com.pk. It was handyman services. I created the website of it. It was like 7,000 Pakistani rupees, but like I was like, things will happen, and I was very empathetic with my team. I get a team. We can build a design studio. Like the vision was to create a design studio. That person was working effectively. Got my second project. That project got me more exposure to like different projects, right? And so that's how I expanded, and then journey. So there was a part I was parking my car. I was leaving from client's office, and I had like around 5 rupees coin, and it just like I was removing my phone from my pocket, and then it just dropped. I was like, I should pick that coin up, and then I thanked God, like thing will happen better soon. So again, I need to be humble to myself. I need to be.
What do you think you need to have to make it as an entrepreneur in Pakistan?
Persistence. I think you need to be persistent. Like if you really want to do something and that's in your mind, like this could happen. Like right now, Alhamdulillah, I have a team in Karachi, in Lahore, Islamabad, 18 people design team.
Wow.
And then it's expanding very, very rapidly because I had that vision, like we can create a design studio, a really good design studio in Pakistan, not anywhere else. I just give you another example. So in 2014, there used to be a conference in Turkey, UX Alive. I was like, oh, I need to attend this conference. I emailed them, like, I want, like, they didn't reply, obviously. In 15, I emailed them again. In 16, I was a little struggling entrepreneur. It was happening in Dubai. I emailed them again. I want to attend this. At the end of 16, it was happening in Turkey again, and then I emailed them back, and they sent me ticket. They sent me the pass for that conference. I was there. I won a competition. They gave me the $350 usability testing device, and like it was my persistence, right? Like I really wanted to attend that conference. I was like connected every expert at that conference who was working on user experience. They are still I'm still connected with them on LinkedIn. So I think it was my persistence. I really wanted to do it, and then that's how.
And I think this is a great example of grit. And I think we often hear now that this is the need, grit, determination. So what stopped you from not, if I think if after I'd been rejected twice, I would have thought, kya baat, what am I doing here? They're not going to give it. What made you continue to do it? What kept your hope up? How do you remain hopeful when you've been rejected twice already?
I think I'm like that. It's just my persona. Like when I was a kid, I was very rigid. Like I want that, and then like I get it. Like later, sometime I get that thing. So
is there? Are you optimistic or are you just persistent?
I think persistent. Sometimes I'm not very optimistic, to be very honest. I'm like, there was time I was like, let's like close this company. I'll go for masters. I applied for like a digital design master's course. They got like they sent me the offer. Okay, like and then I was like, I don't want to go. I really want to pursue this company. So I skipped it. Everything was there. I just need to be there. I was like, nah, I don't want to go. I'll continue this company and make it big. So.
But obviously, for a lot of people, entrepreneurship carries enormous risks. Okay, it's sink or swim, and the safety of a 9-to-5 job is more attractive. What advice would you give to those people who are considering entrepreneurship as an avenue, especially in this economic climate?
I think entrepreneurship is more of a mindset. It's not like you have your own business, so you are an entrepreneur. So it's more of a mindset. You can do multiple things after 9-to-5 job. Like you have more hours than 9-to-5. So you can do something else. Maybe you can, like people are doing it, making videos, making content, making like blogging is a thing right now. If you talk about AR, so people are making augmented reality filters using Instagram or TikTok, and like there are a lot of things you can do as a person. So I think it's a mindset, and people need to adopt that mindset. That like it can be more productive. I can do multiple things instead of like just securing a job and then like doing that work and that's it. Like okay, I'm getting a salary. I'll get an appraisal. I'll get something. No, you need to do something else, like exploring something else. Like I was reading a lot of content yesterday, and then there was. Have you heard about like video-based e-commerce? So you can. So people are watching videos, right? And then there are clothes, there are bags, and there are a lot of stuff there that is there, and brands can sell those products right from the video. So
I'm playing Donkey Kong. Oh no, okay, so that's a really old video game. You probably haven't. Okay, what's a video game?
Mario?
Super Mario. I'm playing Super Mario, and suddenly I'm driving along in my little cart, and I see a ad for a mannequin with some clothes on. I think, okay, I want to buy that.
Yeah.
And I just touch it or click on it, and it goes into my basket. And then at the end of the game, I go and purchase it. Is that it?
Yeah, so this is what will be happening in the metaverse. So
okay, so we've finally come round to the metaverse. Okay, let's talk about the metaverse. Yes. Okay, Mira, Pele Sawal, for a lot of people out there, we hear about the metaverse. It's the sort of buzzword when last year Facebook became Meta, and then they announced the creation of the metaverse. My first question is really, metaverse kya hai?
Okay, so I'll be very easy and simple about this question. So
treat me like a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Imagine you just woke up, you wear your glasses or maybe a headset, and then you are in a virtual world. Maybe it's your own villa. You have a lot of things that doesn't exist in the real world, but in the virtual world, you have a large balcony, you have a big villa, right? And you can do a lot of stuff. You walk there, there's a game there, you just jumped into that game, and other people are like joining you with that game. You at the morning routine, you play volleyball, and other people join in, and then you have games right now in the metaverse, right? There are games, still active games, like people involved there play those games and then get back to the real world. So you play those games, you get back, and then there's this app. You are there in the conference room, and then you are interacting with your colleagues, having that chat. What's the updates? You get the work done. Have that evening time, and then at the end you just remove your glasses and sit back at your home. So the metaverse is the new virtual world in which you can interact with a lot of people. you have a lot of features in which there are games, there are experiences, there are a lot of opportunities. Have you heard of the concept of NFTs?
Yeah, from what I can understand, NFTs are just these digital files, digital pictures.
So NFT is like non-fungible token. Fungible is like non-replaceable. So let's say I have a brush that I used to comb my hair with, right? So, if I have multiple copies of that brush, this specific brush, it's my personal association with that brush, right? So something that is personalized is a non-replaceable. That has my personal values with it. Similarly, there's a jacket. You have a certain jacket that you wear maybe
in the metaverse.
In the real world.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving an example in the real world. So you have a jacket. You wear that jacket every day. But there will be multiple copies of that jacket, obviously, but that particular jacket has your personal values. Maybe you have that tattoo there, or maybe something written around. So people are creating those NFTs that is very like specific, and then it's non-replaceable. So imagine so here in like, if I talk about the arts, people design paintings, right? They are non-replaceable. People can't copy any painting, right? It's very, very, if someone is a very good artist, so that painting is, people buy that painting on a very, very big amount. Similarly,
but I still don't understand it's sounding slightly dystopian, to be honest, in that we're going to be spending our lives in an alternative reality. You know, we wake up, we're living in our small, cramped flat, and we put on our goggles, and we're living in this wonderful thing. But how, you're not experiencing it in the real life. You can't go for a swim in the pool, or, you can't have your butler bring you grapes. It sounds like we're living in this dystopian future.
Okay, so let's talk about Gen Z. If I talk about this Gen Z, they are on TikTok, they are on these all platforms, they are really good gamers, and they spend a lot of time on computers, on video gaming, they create content, they share content. So think about their future, how they will be interacting. Would they be doing this stuff like that, the way we do, like going to hunting or maybe swimming? So, these activities, their activities has changed. They are like the game they used to play physically, now they are gamers, right? So think about their future. They would like
so
to
it's the extension of that gaming experience. Now they're going to be completely... And is it open now? Can you get into the meta?
Yes.
How do you get on there?
So there are a lot of applications. So different vendors are working on different applications. Let's say Facebook has Oculus, right? Oculus is a headset. You just wear it, and you are in a virtual world, right? And within that virtual world, you can interact with apps like any gaming app. So there's a game, lightsaber. You have those hand plugs, and then you play those lightsaber games using hand gesture movements. There is an exercise game where you can like do push-ups, and then it gives you different movements for your exercise routine. So there are a lot of vendors that are producing games. Similarly, 10 Pearls at 10 Pearls, we are creating Nexaverse. It's a Metaverse platform in which you can interact with other colleagues and have courses and interactions.
Courses?
Yeah. So if you want to do some training with other people, with other students, so you can create that training and then interact with other.
So rather than having a Zoom meeting, we would all be in the metaverse around the same table or whatever, and having a training.
So pandemic happens, and then people were locked in their rooms, and this this might happen in future, maybe something. So technology can play an important role here, but at the same time, for us, it's difficult to digest.
Yeah, you mentioned the pandemic. How much did the pandemic change people, both entrepreneurs, both the way we do work, and how people are now in Pakistan per se, perhaps looking to realize that they can now get jobs not just in Pakistan, but they can get jobs whilst in Pakistan but abroad?
I think for businesses, larger businesses got like a lot of profit through the pandemic. Technology companies got that boom. Like they want more people. They were because businesses required technology. There wasn't any social interaction. Just like if I talk about small vendors, they wanted some website or maybe digital presence, so people started here making those apps or website for them. The technology boom. Similarly, larger companies they wanted more solution for the new era. So they required again technology solution for them. And then regarding the entrepreneur part, so again, entrepreneurship is about thinking about that right opportunity and thinking about like what could be the possibility. And then once you have that thinking, okay, there is this market gap, you just jump in and then create that solution using technology, obviously, and plug and play with it. And people raise, there are startups like that raise a lot of funding, but I have a little disagreement with that entrepreneurial part. I can speak.
Yeah, what do you mean? You haven't.
So this is just my perception. There's a lot of glitters in this entrepreneurial world. There is work happening, but at the same time, there's a lot of glitters.
When you say glitters, do you mean sort of?
Wow, we are at this place. Oh, like sharing a lot of content. Oh, we have raised this amount of funding. We have raised this amount of funding. Yeah. And then
but the product is not.
That's the point.
Yeah.
You are hiring resources. You are like.
My mic's full.
Anyways, you are hiring resources. You are getting, and then you need to work on the actual product. Like that was your vision. You don't need to spend a lot of money on gimmicks and work on that product that you got money on.
So you feel that people get caught. Some entrepreneurs get caught up in the. Especially when they suddenly get funding, they get caught up in that bubble.
Let's travel there, let's go there.
Yeah. But you spent a lot of time at Nest, which was one of the sort of first sort of startup incubators, and I wanted to ask you, how do these startup incubators and accelerators play a role in the ecosystem for Pakistan?
Just like you mentioned the Nest, I think I must mention Jahan Ara's support. She is one of a kind.
Could you get her on the show for us?
I'll definitely talk.
Please.
I definitely talk to her. So she did a lot for the ecosystem. So we were just kids. We didn't know how to interact with people. I was just an introvert person sitting on my laptop and then just doing a small project, and then I got that exposure through the Nest.
And what was that exposure? What was it that changed you? How did it change you?
There were a lot of training programs, there were mentors, there were like Jahan was there in that room. I still used to get candies and chocolates from her jars. The door was open, right? There was a time something isn't working, and I told Jahan I want to create a design studio. Jahan was like, okay, you have this place, Nest, you can utilize it. I was like, yes, let's start it. And then the journey starts. And then Nest was a community, right? Jahan created that community of mentors and startups, and then created that bond between them. So we were connected to mentors, and then through verbal communication, like that person referred to someone for a project, and that's how my like initial projects. I got my initial projects like one.
So your initial business came through the incubator.
Yeah.
So it's really giving a good incubator. It gives you not only the physical space to start your business, but it also gives you that sort of emotional support in order to provide you with the right tools to get it off the ground.
Yeah. Again, in start, I told you about like you need to be a little humble, empathetic. Jahan was like it was that support that we got. Like Jahan was there for any if we get any disagreement with the client. We have mentors, Jahan, Jawad, Fari. Like how should we proceed with that client, because we were very young. So I think and then Ness played a good role bringing me up. There used to be a conference, and it's happening again. It's 9-2 Disrupt this year. 0-1 Disrupt happened before. Jahan was the person that initiated it. So I work with those.
What is that?
So it's a technology conference. People from technology, entrepreneurship, they get there. The experts, the learners, there are workshops. There.
When is it?
It's. Okay, I can't recall the date. It's in
soon.
Very very soon. I can't recall.
Okay.
Yeah, very soon happening. It's happening in Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad. Great.
Going back to the metaverse, how do you think that's going to impact sort of the Internet of Things?
So you have hardware, you have software, you have virtual worlds. I think there will be more gadgets. And there will be there's this game, cricket game. You get into that not metaverse, but right now it's just a virtual reality game. So you have that Oculus Rift, and then you can play in a ground, and then you can play those shots using that. And so there's a company that created that game. They also created a hardware to plug in, like you can feel it's a bat in your hand,
right.
And then you can lot of hardware. And then connected with the software world, and then within Metaverse, you will have a lot of virtual worlds. So people are buying plots within world, right? Within Pakistan, people have bought the Tariq Road, the Qaid-e-Azam Mazar-e-Qaid in that Metaverse, and they were like, so in Metaverse.
Have they created it first, and then how can you buy something that's?
So
where's the Qaid's Mazar in the Metaverse?
So you have multiple virtual worlds. So
but who created that? Meta.
Okay.
No, but I don't understand. How can you buy something
that isn't there, right?
That isn't there, but also who created it? Someone must have designed the Qaid's Mazar in the Metaverse, yeah?
Yes. So
don't they own it?
So they are selling, they own it, but they are selling those plots. So think there is this virtual world. Imagine you are in a metaverse of Karachi, right?
Yeah.
You are walking on the Tariq Road street.
But isn't the whole point of having a metaverse is not to be in Karachi?
So let's say you are.
Why create this world? Surely we can create a perfect world, which was.
Where you would like to want to visit in the next?
I want to visit a stream and in a meadow, and somewhere nice.
Somewhere nice. Okay, there's a street somewhere nice. People bought that street, and then they decorated that street. There are billboards where they can place ads, because people are in their metaverse world, and then they're walking on that street. And
but what's stopping me from coming over and sitting on the Qaid's Mazar or wherever and just saying, how do you control that? What's stopping me from enjoying the Qaid's Mazar? Even if you've bought it, yeah, what's stopping me from coming into the Qaid's Mazar?
So you can be that guest, and then if that person think in a way. That person bought it. It's a private property, right?
Yeah.
And it's a very lavish and
Yeah.
they have put a lot of things within Kai's property, right?
Yeah.
And then people want to join that. Okay, you have to pay a little amount, and then you can get into that. So.
But it's not real.
Yeah, so that's a concept. It's really difficult to understand, but like, it's not real, but it's happening in the future metaverses. It's for I think future Gen Z, not for us to. It was very difficult for me.
Are you a millennial?
I'm 29 at the moment.
So yeah, you're probably millennial. Yeah.
Yeah, it was difficult for me initially, but I was like, this is really gonna happen soon. I know people will be lazy and then in their virtual worlds, but I think it will happen soon.
Have you ever seen a film called Wall-E?
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I love
You know, at
that.
the end where they're all like vegetation's
Yes.
looking and looking.
Yes,
That
yes.
sounds like this. No
Yes.
one's like moving
Yeah.
it. Anyway, Umair, thank you so much for enlightening us today on entrepreneurship, on UX experience, and on the metaverse. I'm not sure if I'm coming away absolutely horrified from this conversation or thinking I should go and buy, you know, Mall Road or, you know, Kai's, you know, M.A. Jinnah Road
Yeah.
and see if I should buy that. Is that still free?
I think people have already bought that place. You can like maybe buy any other street. Maybe Shara Faisal is also bought by some.
Shara Faisal's bought.
Yeah, some chunks of that.
Can you
Yes.
can you show me?
Yeah,
And
right
do you
after
have
this.
do you have like the things?
Yes, I can give you.
I'd like to have an experience, so perhaps we can film it after this, of me going into the metaverse for the first time, because I've never been in the metaverse. Perhaps you could.
Yeah, I'll give you that session.
Okay, great. But anyway, Umair, thank you so much. It's been a very enlightening, slightly disturbing discussion, but really, and wish
Thank
you all
you.
the best with your
Thank you.
continued entrepreneurial journey at Temples.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.